Breonna Taylor, a 26-year-old African-American medical technician, was killed in her home in Louisville, Kentucky in March 2020 by police officers conducting an investigation into drug dealing. When police forced their way into Taylor's apartment, her boyfriend fired a warning shot because he later said he thought the police were intruders. Police returned fire and Breonna Taylor was killed. Her death fueled nationwide protest against police brutality and calls for police reform. More than a year later, Breonna's sister, Janiah Palmer, says she not only has to deal with her loss, but also attacks and death threats on social media.
So they would say things like, it's your sister's boyfriend's fault she's dead, your sister shouldn't be a drug dealer. It just varied.
When Lady Phoenix, a digital artist from California, learned about the harassment, she had an idea of how to help. In collaboration with the virtual reality artist Sutu, aka Stuart Campbell, she created an augmented reality project called Breonna's Garden, a safe virtual space for Breonna's family to share their memories and go through the grieving process.
Both of them are in the garden, and we're going to volumetrically capture Janiah and place her in the garden next to Breonna. At a future timeline, they will both be in the garden in more real ways, but Breonna is a 3D character, I don't even want to say character, but she's a 3D representation of herself. And Janiah is a holographic representation of herself placed side by side.
To take part in the project, Janiah flew to California from Kentucky to create her personal hologram at MetaStage Studio.
A memory that I have of me and Breonna is it was winter of '09 and we had a really bad winter ice storm. My mom was at work and it was just me and Breonna in the house, and it was really, really cold, and I remember Breonna being scared, so we stood in front of our window. Well, not stood. We sat in front of our window and we coated up with blankets just to wait until Mom gets home.
Breonna's Garden will be accessible from anywhere in the world via an app called iJack. Once you're there, you can walk around the garden like it's a real physical space.
People will be able to walk around in a real garden, and then from the real garden, these artificial flowers will also start growing.
In the garden, visitors will not only be able to hear Breonna's story told by her loved ones, but also record a voice message supporting her family or addressing their own loved ones who have passed away. The recordings will then turn into flowers that anyone can click on and listen to.
Breonna has become this enormous figure now and has come to represent like a political movement. But before that, she was this girl's sister. And I think this brings us all down to earth as to what it actually feels like just to lose your sister, your best friend.
The premiere of the project is taking place at the Tribeca Festival in New York City that opened on June 9th and continues to June 20th. Jania Dulo for VOA News, Los Angeles, California.
مراقب استهداف